Hello everyone, we are at the Real World AI Summit and I have...
My name is Robin, I'm co-founder and CEO of Wingbits.
Awesome, nice to have you.
I'm really happy to be here. IoTeX puts on the best events. I always meet so many interesting people, so I appreciate it.
I agree. Robin, tell us a bit more about yourself before we talk about Wingbits.
Yeah, so my background is now Web3, so I'm actually quite new to the space. Been doing it now for a year and a half with Wingbits. Prior to that, I founded 7 companies in different industries, and prior to that, I used to play professional golf. So don't know how I came into Web3, but I'm glad I arrived. And yeah, so we've been building now for a year and a half, and it's been awesome.
That's quite a journey.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, all over the place.
Before we talk about Wingbits and what Wingbits does exactly, how did you get the inspiration to get started?
So my co-founder Alex, he actually got the idea from a podcast. We learned about this other flight tracking networks was acquired by private equity. And that's when we realized that you have this massive aviation industry that is relying on this data we collect called ADSB, but it's all now being collected by volunteers and hobbyists. So, these bigger companies are making hundreds of millions of dollars a year off of free data, but nothing feeds back to the community actually collecting it. So that was obviously one issue we wanted to fix. But then we also realized that the second issue with that model is that you have no incentive, means that the network is kind of unoptimized, but also the infrastructure that they use to actually collect this data is quite poor. There's no security, they don't know where they are, and it's not homogeneous. So we felt like we could actually fix the 2 biggest issues with this model, one being the incentive and one being the infra. So right now we have about 5,000 stations globally, about 3,500 on back order. And we actually provide a much higher quality data at lower latency thanks to the model combined with the better hardware.
And the data you're collecting is flight data?
Flight data, yeah. So it's it's regulated, so all planes that fly through civilian airspace have to send this data. It's called ADSB. It's an open radio signal that contains all kinds of information about the plane, like identifier, speed, tilt, heading, weather conditions, and so on. And when you aggregate that data globally, you get a perfect overview of airspace, and that data in turn is used by the finance industry, aviation, of course, insurance, and it's a really, really big market with a lot of use cases.
Yeah. The devices, how do they look like?
So, how to say, it's like kind of like the bottom is like a UFO looking thing.
Okay.
And that contains the RTK chip and obviously the crypto chip and the computer. And then on top there's an antenna that's about, I don't know, 30, 40 centimeters. And that's the one that receives the signal from the plane. So it's a receiving only, it doesn't transmit anything, so it doesn't interfere with potentially other signals around.
Okay. Yeah, we are here at the Real World AI Summit. Yeah. A lot of real world applications and DePIN converging with AI and with crypto.
Yeah.
What excites you about this event?
I mean, I think generally with the events that IoTeX puts on is like the quality of people that are here, and there's actually real businesses being built, and just the kind of the vision of actually doing something that's real that benefits people, I think is important. And I think that's where crypto needs to go. It can't just all be about speculation. There has to be some real stuff being built. So that's one. When it comes to AI, I mean, I think now you have all these trained models that have been trained on historical data. The logical next step is actually to ingest live data from different industries with the models to get the insights. Because when you think about it, you sell this data to customers, they really just want the insights. And I think with AI, you can actually going to be able to provide a much more turnkey solution to get the insights you need without the headache of actually ingesting terabytes of data a day and processing it. So that's where I think AI comes in. And also if you look at flight delays, cost the industry $75 billion last year. Well, AI, I'm sure, will be used heavily to predict what is going on and give it some to avoid all the knock-on delays, bringing more proactivity to the industry, which I think is going to be a game changer for the industry. Yeah.
What needs to happen in the next 2 years to say, wow, this was a super successful year or 2 years for Wingbits?
For us?
Yeah.
I mean, I think reaching profitability, which I think we will. I think we want to prove that you can actually build a real sustainable business in the space that is going to be around here for the long term. So I think we're going to reach that within 2 years. Last week we announced our Korean Airlines partnership. We have some other cool things in the pipeline. Definitely want to start working with more and more airlines and the companies within aviation. That just to prove that you can actually build, it's not just about the better model, it's also about a better product, which I believe we have both.
Yeah.
So reaching profitability, having a sustainable value going back to the community, making them feel like it's been worthwhile, I think that will be a success for me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
2 years to profitability, where is the profit going to come from? Is that from the airlines?
So right now, I mean, we're going to expand on the product offering. Right now, we sell the data in different formats, either maybe like a global live stream, or we sell, if they have a fleet of planes, we sell a stream for their fleet, and so on, and historical data. So it's a B2B play. So that's where we're going to generate our money. We have a big pipeline of customers, and then we're going to obviously create more enriched products. Airlines is actually just a small piece of the industry. You have all the financial industry buying the data, insurance, any type of analytics company within aviation. You have a lot of people looking at it from a logistics point of view. Now you have more and more companies coming up using it for different AI solutions. And we work with some drone companies. You know, right now we don't track the drones, but to do drone tests, for example, you need to know that the space is safe to conduct a drone test, which means you need to have their aviation data. So it's just a really wide range of industries that actually rely on this data.
Yeah, my next question would actually be like, do these trackers also track drones? Because I see their potential as well.
So we have the remote ID tracker in the devices. So that's where right now, that's what the regulation is in the US. We saw UK just regulated 978 megahertz. In the device, there's actually some slots underneath, so it's modular. So we can actually, as regulation matures, we can upgrade devices for specific regions based on that specific need. Yeah. So we will definitely track drones, we'll definitely track flights, and then maybe we'll definitely track something else that I'm not going to reveal yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Some no alpha here now?
Yeah, some a little bit alpha, yeah.
What did we forget to talk about Wingbits?
I think you know, we're approaching TG, which is going to be an exciting time. So I think that's going to be something to keep an eye out on. Also, you know, we're in Singapore right now. We were in Korea last week, and before that, Japan. We're focusing heavily on the Southeast Asia region because that's literally the last piece of the puzzle to reach global coverage. We're running a lot of campaigns for free devices in the region. So if anyone, you know, around here is interested in joining, like join the campaigns, sign up, and for a chance to win a free device.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think those two.
Maybe last question. Real World AI Summit. A lot of interesting projects here.
Yes.
All devices, different data collections.
Yeah.
What innovation do you think comes out of this?
I mean, I think I see a lot of cool things in energy. That's going to be really cool. I think D-Energy was here. I think that makes sense. I think a big thing we're going to see is just tokenization of real world assets. Yeah. I think that's a really big thing. I think to get institutional adoption, there needs to be something real that's tokenized, and I think it's going to come to anything from, you know, like real estate to energy to space-based constellations. Like the limit is kind of limitless, but I think that's where it's going to, is actually allow, and that's also going to be an easier adoption, I think, for Web 2 crowd. Yeah. Another thing I think coming out of this is that you're actually going to produce products that are used by Web 2 people without knowing that it's Web 3 involved. It's just going to be a seamless enough experience and good enough product that they use it, and the Web 3 is just kind of in the background, obscured, and I think that's what's needed to get that option.
I fully agree. Yeah. I think we need to abstract away the whole crypto thing.
I think so. I think so.
And we don't then we don't even have to worry about trust issues, because people don't trust AI and crypto.
Exactly. Yeah.
Abstract it away. It's a great technology.
Exactly. It's all about building a good product that brings value to the people, and then if it's powered by Web 2 or Web 3, it's like kind of like a secondary to that. So I think the focus should be build good products, find product market fit, generate a lot of revenue, and then, you know, if you do a Web 3 way, make sure that revenue goes back to the community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Great
thank
answers.
You so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.